This week on Barely Homesteading, we want to talk about road work. So one of the things about a homestead is that there's always work to do. Things are always breaking down, things need regular maintenance, regular repair, and you got to keep up on those things. If you don't keep up on your regular maintenance and repairs and stay on top of those things, you could have tools or equipment break, become unusable, and that's the same for infrastructure. So as you're going to see in a little bit, the previous owner of our property did not really keep up on the road maintenance and got into a situation that it was very difficult to use this critical piece of infrastructure.
When we got to the new house, we realized it was mud season, and that with the previous owner hauling all of his things out in big trucks, heavy trucks, that the road is just a mess. So we haven't been able to get anything delivered yet, any of our things. And just even bringing things in from Lowe's or Home Depot so that we can do repair has also been delayed. So right now, Lumberjack is down there on the skid steer, trying to move around some gravel, trying to get some sort of base so that we can drive in and out more easily. So we're going to walk down there and see. Look at how deep these ruts are and how filled with water. Honestly, I think all of our gravel might just disappear if we try to spread it out now. Okay, careful, don't let your shoes get stuck in the mud.
To stabilize this road, we brought in 3-inch minus gravel, and that means that the rocks are nominally 3 inches or less in size. And we have brought in enough to coat this entire area where we're getting a lot of runoff and a lot of pooling. And then we've also done this on other sections of the road where there was not a lot of gravel, mostly just mud and dirt, to try, as I said, to stabilize it and get a sizable base. Now you want to start with this larger gravel, particularly when you're having the mud problems that we had, and try to get it down into the road so that it is somewhat embedded in the dirt and not just sitting on top. With it sitting on top, it's going to get knocked off as you drive and use the road, and that's not what you want. You want it to stay on the road as much as possible. So after we get a sizable buildup of this larger material, like I said, this is 3-inch minus, we'll go to smaller material like a 1 3/4, maybe even down to a 3/4 eventually, until you get a nice base built up that will not only allow the water to seep down through during those freeze-thaw cycles, but it's also going to embed further down into the mud, so you just keep putting more and more on each year until you've worked your way down enough that the gravel's all the way down to that frost line, so that as it thaws, you've got gravel all the way down, so you have something substantial to support your vehicles as you are driving on this. Now that's going to take several years to do. This is not something you're going to do overnight. As it works down through the material, through the dirt, the mud, you keep putting more on every year. And so this is an ongoing project that we will have. That's going to take some time and quite a bit of money. But at the end, we'll have a very stable, usable road. All right, so not perfect by any means, but I was able to get the major ruts out of the road, and it's starting to get a little mucky as we get closer to the camera. So I wasn't able to finish here, but at least I've got the major ruts and holes taken care of, because it's going to rain here in a couple of days and I don't want it pooling. I want it to be able to run off as much as possible. And we'll be able to get our trailer up by the house, which is a big thing, so we can get the trailer unloaded. So got some more work to do on this road, but at least it's usable. So another reason for all the issues that we've had with this road was drainage. A lot of the drainage ditches had been filled in or not even dug at all, and so we've had to come in and dig some drainage ditches so that we keep a lot of that water off of the road surface so that it doesn't pool and cause us mud problems. Now, after a lot of work on the road, we've been able to get it to a usable situation, and we've had quite a few large rainstorms and have still been able to utilize the road. Now, it's not perfect by any means. I know next spring we're going to have issues like we had last spring, but hopefully they will be significantly less because of the time and effort that we've put into the road. We have brought in a significant amount of gravel to put in a better road base. Now, as we get the thaw and freeze cycles next spring, a lot of that gravel is going to sink, and we're going to have to put more gravel down on top of it. And you just have to keep up on that road maintenance until you get a good substantial road base built up, and then it becomes a lot less troublesome and a lot less effort on a regular basis. But we've got to put in that effort up front to get to that point. So we know that over the next couple, maybe even a few years, we're going to be bringing in a lot of gravel to get that road base built up and stabilized, so that we don't have those spring freeze thaw problems that we had this year. And we have a sizable road to maintain. So from our entrance up to the house, it's about 1/4 mile of road that we need to maintain, and some of it's rather steep. And so it's going to be a lot of effort and a lot of money to get this road stabilized and to a point where it's going to be usable throughout the year, even with those freeze-thaw cycles. But that's one of the things that we knew about coming into this particular property, and so we were, I don't want to say prepared for it, because we obviously were not prepared for what we found this spring, but at least we knew that this was going to be an issue that needed to be taken care of. So another issue we have with our particular road is we've got a very sizable hill. This hill probably has an elevation change of 120 to 150 feet and is fairly steep. We've had multiple people, when they get up to this portion of the hill, have told us that they didn't think they were going to make it up. And so with this, again, with the maintenance that was not occurring, we had a lot of problems with this road. And with all of the rain that we had this year, we actually had a lot of runoff. And so you can, right here, you can see where we've gotten a lot of erosion because, as I said, the road had not been maintained, and so the material was just slowly going down until there really wasn't anything left. And so we've brought in some material. We need to do some more before winter hits, but at least we've been able to stabilize this and slow down the erosion. Eventually this needs to get built up quite a bit to get where it needs to be, so that it is both stable and does not erode in those big rainstorms. But we're also going to need to bring in some material to try to make it a little bit less steep in a couple of places, and we'll show you how we're going to do that in later episodes. So in future episodes, we will talk more about what we're doing with the road, particularly in certain areas like our steep hill. where we're going to be doing some work to keep it not only maintained, but to hopefully improve it so that it's more usable throughout the entire year and not just when it's nice like it is now. So with that, this is Lumberjack from Barely Homesteading, reminding you to use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.